obeisances unto my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So, welcome in the Hare Krishna Center. This is Mantra 12 of the Isopanisad. Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the Absolute. Sometimes people, they say that this concept of hell, it doesn't exist. It is just a convenient device of, so-called religionists. Some, dogmatic religionists who try to simply control the masses of people through the what the communists call the opium of mankind. The communists, they say religion is the opium of for the masses. The capitalists, this is their theory, they're using religion in order to subjugate the workers. So then they make the revolution, and they kick out religion. I was born in a country, communistic country, Czechoslovakia or Slovakia. So it is a very horrible state of existence. The communistic regime is a great torture, actually. It's a great torture. People have no freedom. They cannot buy what they want. They cannot read what they want. They cannot watch movies they want. There's no freedom. It's a complete failure of political system. So I came to Canada 15 or so years ago with my parents, and I find this system better. Of course, there are also flaws. There's always some kind of a flaw, but comparatively speaking, at least people are not harassed. They're free. They have a certain amount of freedom. They can make a choice. So sometimes people say that this concept of hell, this is just some imagination. So they say that actually the hell, what is meant by hell, is this present situation. So many terrorists, so many murders, the shooting in Orlando, this, that, all the time we hear. It's like hell. If you turn on the news, simply violence, war, killing, hunger, calamities. So they said this is actually hell. So we should not concoct, we should not make an estimation of things which are beyond our perception. Whether there's hell or not, that we cannot verify now. We cannot go to hell and see and then come back and say, yes, there is hell. So the Vedas, they give this injunction, things which you cannot perceive directly, you cannot conceive directly with your senses, don't try to adjust through mental speculation. Don't try to access this information through the limited power of your brain power. This is a foolishness. Just like this example has been given that there is a frog in a well. Did anyone heard this example before? A frog in a well? Frog in a well? No? Okay, there's a frog is living in a well, and all of a sudden another frog jumps in and he talks to him. Listen, man. There's an unlimited ocean outside of the well. So the conservative frog, he's challenging him. He says, really? How bigger is this ocean compared to my well? How is it bigger? So the other frog says, no, it's very difficult to estimate. So the conservative frog, he says, is it twice as big as my well? So the other frog says, no, forget this. Way, way, way bigger. 3 times bigger? No. 4 times bigger? No, come on. It's like, if it's not 5 times bigger than my well, I don't believe that it exists. So this is the position of a person who's trying to ascertain things which are beyond our perception through the limited power of our brain. So the Vedic injunction is Tadvijnanatam saguru meva vigacchit. That you accept a spiritual master, someone who is tattvadarshina. What is a tattvadarshina? The one who has seen the truth. From him, we can understand things which are beyond our perception. That's like, you don't know what is going on there, Brahmacharya. You can only hear through the sound, right? So you cannot see what happened, but you could hear through the sound. Some pot banged against the other pot. That created the sound. So although you cannot see directly through the sound, you can have a certain information. So in the same way, about things which are transcendental, beyond our perception, we get to know through hearing. Not through seeing, not through speculating, through hearing. Hearing from the proper source. The Vedic literatures are aparoshya. They're not uttered, they're not written by mundane living entities. They're directly descending from the transcendental platform. And in this way, we have a perfect information what is going on. See, people are very skeptical. They say, no one knows. They try to deny when we try to preach to them from the Vedic literatures. They say, well, who knows? Might be true, might not be true, well, we don't know. This is just a speculation. I try to dismiss the Vedic literatures like this. But then the question is, what is the aim of life? What is the aim of life? What is your answer? Is there a value in inquiring about the meaning of life or not? Obviously, that option is here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here and discuss this topic. That option is there. You can imagine, you can speculate, you can inquire. The animal cannot inquire. See, the animal cannot inquire. A dog, cat, they don't come here to hear. They cannot hear. See, this is what distinguishes a human being from an animal. A human being can hear. Animal cannot hear. So those who do not want to hear, or those who cannot hear, although they might have a form of a human being, are not better than the animal. The Vedic literature calls them the two-legged animal. He has 2 legs, but he's an animal. The animals, they engage in 4 activities. What are those? Does anybody know? What are the? Yes.
Eating, mating, defending, and sleeping.
Very good. Yes, that's right. So we also do the same thing. We eat, sleep, have sex life, and we fight. What is this terrorism? What is this economy? What is this competition? What is this university education? Defending, fighting. Fighting. I want to be on the top. I want to get the best marks. I want to get the best job. Fighting. This is not education. Defense. If you don't go to university, if you don't get your diploma, then how will you live? You'll be homeless. See? The mother was telling you when you were going to school. See? Children, they don't like to go to school. They have a natural propensity to play. Right? They want to be playful. But they put into the university, and unfortunately, they're put into the condition of an animal. They educated how to be animal. So the Vedic education, the Vedas, this is a different type of education. It teaches you how to utilize my human form of life. In a human form of life, besides these 4 activities, I have the great opportunity to inquire. If there's no question, if there's no answer to these questions, what is the meaning of life? Is there hell? Is there transcendental world? Is there God? If there's no answer to these questions, then why the questions are here in the first place? Why here in the first place? If you think that there is no absolute, everything is relative, everything is matter. Relative means there is no father without son. There is no husband without wife. There is no black without white. There's no good without good or without evil. So, if there's the question, there must be the answer, according to the law of relativity. See, people say, "Oh, it's so relative." Nobody knows what is the actual truth. For someone it's like that. For you, it's Krishna. For you, it's Allah. There is no one truth. It's all relative. But by the same law of relativity, you should honestly admit that there must be the answer to these questions. And that answer must be concrete. If the truth becomes relative, that is not truth anymore. Just like 2 plus 2 is 4. That is a concrete knowledge. If you say, well, the number 4 is kind of unpopular, people don't like it, 4. Make it 5. Then the truth becomes lost. You see? So in the same way, this Vedic knowledge is not a belief, it's not a faith, it's not a religion. It is science. It is exact science. It is the most perfect science. And when it is passed down as it is, just like 2 plus 2 is 4. We have learned this in school from the teacher. And maybe we taught someone else, our friend or whatever. Then the knowledge remains intact. As soon as you try to twist the knowledge, change the knowledge, then the knowledge is lost. Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya vidu sikkalane mata yogo nasta parantapa. Nasta. The word nasta means spoiled. Just like you boiling milk. And then all of a sudden you're a little inattentive, you go on Facebook or something, your phone rings, and the milk overboils and burns. So, what can you do with such burnt milk? If you pour more pure milk, is it going to be better? No. It's nasta, it's spoiled. You have to throw it out. Throw it out in the garbage and start afresh. So, Krishna, he comes on regular basis. The last time he came, 5,000 years ago, and he explained this transcendental knowledge. What is the transcendental knowledge? The transcendental knowledge means the science of my relationship with the Supreme Lord. Simply know God, there is Creator. This is not enough. This is not a complete knowledge. I also have to understand what is my relationship to God. I also have to understand what is the nature of that relationship. It is completely distinct from the relationships we have in this material world. So it is a great science. But if it is not passed down as it is, when the science appears to be lost, then Krishna comes again and he reestablishes the real knowledge. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. When there's discrepancy in the execution of this relationship, that relationship is service. We are related to the Supreme Lord in service, not in the enjoying propensity. Oh, God, give me this, give me that. Now you do like that. I am the most important in the whole universe. Now God serve me. No. You are a servant You're a servant of Krishna. So that, of course, is a very intricate subject matter. How to revive one's original spiritual body. How Krishna interacts with all his devotees in different ways. There are different mellows, different rasas. It is not one-sided, dogmatic. You simply serve Krishna, you bow down, and so on and so on. There are so elevated stages of devotion that you can become the master of God. You can become his master. God becomes your servant. Just imagine. Just like you see here on this picture here. This is Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is mother of Krishna. God cannot have mother, right? Because God is eternal. But he can have that relationship. That relationship is nice. You have a different relationship with your mother. You have a different relationship with your girlfriend. You have a different relationship with your wife. You have a different relationship with your friends. These are all love. They're all love. But there are different flavors of love. Different moods. And Krishna is enjoying all of them. All of them with different devotees. So in this world, these relationships, they become perverted. They're just like a shadow reflection of the original spiritual relationship in the spiritual world. Beyond this dark universe. Why is this universe dark? Does anybody know? Why is this universe dark? Yes?
It's contaminated with the material energy.
Yes, but a little bit more specific. Or let's say, why is this? Why does darkness?
Duality. There's light and dark.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, I'm going to explain. This universe is covered. It's like Prabhupada says, a coconut bowl. The 8 material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So the Vedas, they explain that the universe has 8 coverings. 8 thick coverings. The first covering is the earth portion. This earth portion is a thick layer of earth covering the universe. After this layer, there's earth, water. This water portion is 10 times thicker than the earth portion. Imagine, that extends over millions and millions of miles. These layers, different layers. After the water, there's the fire layer. That is 10 times thicker than the water portion. And so it goes until false ego, which is the last layer. And beyond this layer, there is the unlimited spiritual sky. Unlimited spiritual sky. Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti. There's no limits. Here we have limits. Right? Like this earth planet is limited. Some limitations. But in the spiritual universe, there is no such a thing. It's eternal. It's unlimited. And in this Brahma Jyoti effulgence, the flowing, the Vaikuntha planets, the spiritual planets, which are also unlimited. Imagine. This spiritual universe is unlimited. And when you enter the planets in this universe, they themselves are unlimited. You cannot reach the end of this planet. So all these descriptions, wonderful descriptions. If you read Srila Prabhupada's books, I highly recommend that they take a serious study of Srila Prabhupada's books. He has written 80 volumes of translations of these ancient Vedas. So if you want to know about God and this transcendental worlds, there is a full description, every single detail. How the inhabitants, they look like, what do they do, how Krishna interacts, how the spiritual world is constituted, what is the relationships, everything, sorry, just give me a sec. Everything is fully described. So I just, tell you a little bit, the topmost planet of these Vaikuntha planets is the Krishna Loka. Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka Vrindavan is where Krishna resides. This is the kingdom of God. Everything is kingdom of God, but kingdom of God is not boring. It is full of varieties, unlimited engagements, unlimited devotees, different kinds of relationships. So that's why the universe is dark. And this sun and moon, Prabhupada said, that's why we need the sun and moon to put light in this universe. Otherwise we would all die. If there was no sun, if there was no moon, we would die immediately. So the light from the sun is the reflection of this Brahma Jyoti, this effulgence, this spiritual sky, effulgence. It is a reflection. So when you look in the sky and you see the sun planets, you just remember that, oh, this is the reflection of the light of the spiritual world. People say, can you show me God? Yeah, just look at the sun. And you try to remember this. It's right there. You can see the spiritual sky if you look at the sun. The effulgence is so powerful, right, that you cannot even look actually. If you stare at the sun, your eyes, they become damaged. So we cannot enter this spiritual world with this present body. What to speak of the spiritual world? We cannot even enter the moon planet, the sun planet, all the other planets with this body. This body, biokarma, is meant for the earthly atmosphere. It's predominantly made of earth, this body. So we have to acquire a spiritual body. Spiritual body is already there. In your heart, there's the spirit soul. And the spirit soul resides in the body in the seed form. And this whole process of Krishna consciousness, this bhakti yoga process as instructed by our spiritual master, governed by this Shravanam Kirtanam, this hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and chanting the Hare Krishna Mantra. It is not just chanting, it is also hearing. That actually is the process of how to make this seed, this spiritual seed of the spirit soul, blossom. This is the watering process. It's like a seed, you put water, it grows. Similarly, the spirit soul, if you water it, by the association of Krishna, when you chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you remember that you are in direct connection, direct association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. It is so, believe it or not. So many people, so many devotees, so many yogis, they have become purified simply by this chanting, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Purified from all sinful activities. They've given up sinful life. They've given up materialistic way of life. They become pure devotees simply by this chanting. So if it is a mundane vibration, how is it possible? You try to chant any mundane vibration. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. You try it. And become free from sinful activities. You do that. Then you come and challenge. Oh, this Hare Krishna mantra, it's just an ordinary mantra. You're just cheating people with some, mundane song. So you do it. You chant, you make up your own mantra, you become free from sinful activities. Then you cannot. Simple as cigarette smoking, he cannot give up. Right? Simply a cigarette, he cannot give up. Such a bad habit. And he comes to challenge. So we can have the idea about the spiritual world by hearing from the Vedic literatures. From this spiritual world, the Vedas, they descend, this information descends, and it is given to us by the spiritual master. The spiritual master does not adulterate. Why would he adulterate? The knowledge is complete and perfect. There's no need of adulteration. Now we're accustomed in these mundane affairs, making improvements. You make it more improved, because people need something popular, so you make it more popular so more people come. This is a mundane knowledge. Mundane knowledge makes you more bound. You become bound to all these people you try to cheat. You become their servants. Instead of become their master, spiritual master, you become their so-called spiritual servant. So this is the position the pseudo-religionists, the pseudo-gurus from India, now even from the West. So many bogus gurus, bogus swamis, bogus yogis are coming. So we should be very careful not to become confused by these rascals. Prabhupada says, if you accept a bogus master, a bogus guru, then your whole life is finished. Your whole life is spoiled, just like that milk. No matter how much you're trying after, put pure milk, you cannot improve your condition. It's just like a disease. We have a material disease. But this is nothing. Material disease. How does it matter? You are not this body. You will change the body. You're changing all the time, the body. That's why you actually get healed. Because we're changing the body. Right? Every second we're changing the body. So that is not a big problem, this disease, material disease. But if you become diseased spiritually, that is a very difficult problem. A very difficult problem. So, these impersonalists, the Mayavadis, they're a very dangerous class of men. Does anybody know what is a Mayavadi, impersonalist? Yes, you know.
Maya?
Mayavadi.
Well, I know what Maya is. Is it like Maya is which is not true? It's the illusion.
Yes, but this is Mayavadi.
Okay.
You know what is Mayavadi?
No.
Or impersonalist?
No.
Oh, you have to read Sri
Yeah.
Upanishad. Impersonalist is a person who misinterprets the Vedas in order to preach atheism. A person who takes the Vedic knowledge in order to preach atheism. Prabhupada calls it the cult of atheism. Atheism. It is not simply that atheists are those who say, I don't believe in God. This is very clear cut. In case someone says, God is for nonsense. Science, I don't believe. Religion is nonsense. To hell with religion. God, I hate God. God doesn't exist. This is very clear cut. Atheists. But there's another class of atheists who might look very spiritual. He might have a dhoti, shika, tilak, everything. He might quote the Vedas. He might look just like myself. But his motive is to preach atheism. It's to preach atheism. And this is why the communists, why they call it the opium of mankind. Because such rascals, they've taken advantage of the Vedic knowledge in order to preach atheism. You see? What is this atheism? The atheism means animal platform. There is no God, there is no soul, there's nothing. You simply eat and sleep and work and heart. This is atheism. So the impersonalists, they preach this philosophy of impersonalism because if God is impersonal, if He doesn't have a form, then there's no need to worship Him. You see? If God doesn't have a form, then all these forms we see here, the distinction between you and me, this is illusion. That's why they say Maya. Everything is Maya, they say. So Vaishnavas, devotees of Krishna, they don't say like that. Everything is Maya. There's a very subtle difference. We say that no, because this world, because these elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so on, they're coming from God, from Krishna, they're also real. Because Krishna is real, they're also real. But they're temporary manifested. They're temporary. Temporary doesn't mean false. Temporary doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists, but it's temporary. And we don't reject anything. The only thing we reject is the enjoying propensity, the enjoying spirit. Oh, this is for me. I'm going to now enjoy all these things. I'm going to enjoy earth, water, fire, air, and all the things created by these elements. This devotees reject, this enjoyment spirit. God is also called in the Vedic literature Purusha. Purusha means enjoyer. You're never the enjoyer. You might be thinking, I'm the enjoyer. You're being cheated if you think, I am enjoying this very much. You never enjoy. Let's say you want to take some nice meal. So you go and you eat and you think, oh, I'm enjoying. But you're not enjoying. Your tongue is enjoying. Your belly is enjoying. But you're not this body. You're not the body. So you're not enjoying. You have nothing. From that nice meal, you have nothing. The soul doesn't get anything from this material pleasure. So you're never the enjoyer. You're always a servant. You're serving your senses. Now, we're all serving our senses. Go here, go there, go this party, that restaurant, that concert, this friend, that friend. Simply being dragged by the senses. Right? Wherever the senses command, you go there. You have to go. So we try to be Goswamis. We try to be the controllers of the senses. No, I remain here. I remain here in a Krishna temple. I chant the holy name without any distraction. Why should I go here and there and waste my time? Everything is here already. I am in direct connection with Krishna, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. This is intelligence. If you can get in touch with the source of all these pleasures, why should I waste time getting the tiny little bits of pleasure? This is intelligence. So, this is the difference between the Maya bodies and the devotees. Devotees, they try to utilize everything in this world in the service of Krishna. They do not reject anything. Just like our Srila Prabhupada, a great example. He engaged everything. Dictaphones, telephones, corporations, jets, planes, everything. Women, men, even homosexuals, even gay people. Prabhupada engaged them without any discrimination in the service of Krishna. Because if these things and persons are engaged in the service of Krishna, they become spiritualized. That original connection with Krishna, we have forgotten, just like we have forgotten that the sun is the reflection of the spiritual sky, it becomes revived. I understand, oh, this is actually connected to Krishna. This foodstuff we offer it is coming from Krishna. And what is offered to Krishna, then it revives its spiritual nature. So this is Krishna consciousness movement. We try to spiritualize everything. The whole world can become the spiritual world if we know the proper process. Just like a touchstone. Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, he's like a touchstone. Touchstone is a special stone which, when in contact with iron, when it touches the iron becomes gold. So similarly, the association of the bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the bona fide spiritual master. Through his association, everything can be spiritualized. But we have to take up his association. We cannot manufacture or change his instruction. Then you can have, your imitation touchstone, but they will simply create disturbance. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is very important that we receive it from the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada is a bona fide spiritual master. If we receive the mantra from a non-devotee or from a pretender Mayavadi who's preaching atheism through the Vedas, then just like the milk, the same example. If the milk, there's a little piece of stool, right? It might be tiny little stool. Would you like to take that milk if I offer you? You would not like to take, even if it's a tiny little stool, right? So similarly, even a tiny little deviation from the order of the spiritual master creates a havoc on the path of self-realization. That's why we have to be very careful that we follow the instruction of the spiritual master as it is, as they are, without any subtraction. Srila Prabhupada, he's teaching a very simple thing. You chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you associate with devotees. This place is created for this purpose. So we can associate together and exchange our realization on Krishna consciousness. We can share, we can discuss, and we can churn the nectar. And we can come all together in God brotherly moods. We can come to what is called a Siddhanta. Siddhanta means the very nectar of the Vedas. What is the use of reading so many Vedic literatures and learning so many Sanskrit shlokas and learning so many things if we miss the conclusion? What is the conclusion of the Vedas? Krishna. How to love Krishna. That is the conclusion of the Vedas. So we should be very careful that we don't become deviated. The spiritual master is here, available for all of us. Srila Prabhupada, he has expanded himself unlimitedly through his books. The real connection with the spiritual master is through hearing, just like I was explaining in the beginning, not through seeing. If I want to understand the spiritual master through seeing, that means I'm not taking shelter of the bona fide spiritual master. I'm taking shelter of my limited brain power, limited mental speculation. You see? So don't get cheated that you need a living spiritual master. You need a physical spiritual master. That is a bogus cheating number one from the very beginning. Because the spiritual master is never living. The spiritual master is never physical. The spiritual master is spiritual. Just like you are spiritual also. Right now, for the time being, you're entrapped in this material body. But when you become liberated, you are no longer bound by anything material. You're no more bound by death. So what to speak of spiritual master? How he can be limited by the laws of material nature? Then he cannot be the spiritual master. If he himself is limited by the material laws of nature, if he himself is conditioned and prone to failure, prone to mistakes, prone to illusion, then he cannot be the authoritative instructor. And if you yourself know this, my spiritual master is an imperfect being, he's just like me, maybe a little better than me, then how can you surrender to such a spiritual master? How can you serve that spiritual master with awe and reverence? That so-called service is false. It is a pretense. Just like that spiritual master, he's a pretender. Similarly, his so-called disciple, he's another pretender. He knows very well, my spiritual master is not a bona fide. I'm simply serving him to get something material. Similarly, the demigod worshippers. There's so many demigod worshippers. Why Krishna? Why not Shiva? Why not Ganesh? Why not Brahma? Why? That injunction is there, yes, in the Vedas. Yes, you can worship the demigods. If you're not ready to surrender to Krishna, why people taking up the worship of the demigods? Because the demigods are very easily pleased, just like Lord Shiva. That is one of his names. Very easily pleased. Very easily angered also, but very easily pleased. He doesn't require so much austerity as Krishna. So less intelligent people, they surrender to the demigods because it's easier, and they get some material benediction. The demigods cannot award liberation. That same Lord Shiva, he says, if you want liberation, you have to go to Vishnu. You can check it out. This is mentioned in the Vedas. If you want liberation, I cannot give you. Lord Brahma, same thing. Hiranyakashipu, we're chanting about Hiranyakashipu, the Lord Nishingadev prayers. He was a great demon. He wanted liberation. He wanted to become Amara. Amara means without death. So he approached Lord Brahma. He was also a demigod worshipper. He was not a devotee. Demigod worshipper is not a devotee. A devotee means love, serving with love. We're serving Krishna with love. We're not serving Krishna with some material motivation. Oh, Krishna, can you give me money, give me this, give me that. We're praying to Krishna, please Krishna, you take all these things away from me. Make me a beggar. Make me a beggar. That is a prayer of a devotee. Please take everything from me. Why? Because the more I have, the more I become forgetful of you, the more I want to stay here in the golden shackles of material energy. So, the demigod worshippers, they're also nonsense. Krishna says this. I do not say this. Krishna says this. They're less intelligent. Less intelligent. 7th chapter, 19th verse, Bhagavad Gita. You can check if you don't believe me. Krishna says, those who worship demigods are less intelligent because the results derived from such worship is temporary. They cannot help us. So these worshippers of these bogus incarnations, they're just like that. They have no love for that so-called spiritual master. It's all just a big show. You can see in the movies how Srila Prabhupada is respected by the devotees. It is not artificial. Prabhupada didn't come with big Vyasasan to New York, or with big entourage of brahmacharis, or with big institution and say, oh, now I'm a guru, now you accept me. No. He came with only a few rupees. Imagine. He didn't even have any money to go by in New York. He came like a beggar. He came like a beggar. 1965 on a ship. 1 month it took for him to come to America from India. 1 month on a ship. He actually suffered 2 heart attacks. While coming here, he suffered 2 heart attacks. Imagine. At the age of 70. And it just tells you something. This person is not a cheater. Why would someone risk his life simply to give some cheating mantra or cheating knowledge? This person, Srila Prabhupada, is genuine. He's genuine. Have no doubt. Srila Prabhupada is not trying to cheat us. He's coming for our benefit. He's coming for our benefit. So, Srila Prabhupada, he established his great position, his exalted position of the initiating spiritual master of the Hare Krishna movement through his sound. That's why we call our society Bhakti Vedanta lives in sound society. He lives in sound. He doesn't live in the material body as, foolish frog in a well people could think. He lives in his sound. And through his sound, he can manifest so many temples. You have no idea. Every city, every town, every village, there will be a temple of Krishna. This is predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Are you familiar? Okay. So Srila Prabhupada will make it. He already started. Srila Prabhupada, when he came, he manifested a big empire, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. 108 temples all around the world. That has already been done. But this is not the end. This is not the end. Don't think that this is the end. This is just the beginning. This is just a little fraction of what is going to happen in the future. This Hare Krishna movement will spread so much that every town and every village there will be chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Prabhupada predicted there will be Krishna conscious government. In the United States of America, there will be a Krishna conscious president with a tilak. When I have the tilak, you will see on the news the President of the United States having a speech. There will be profound prasadam distribution. No need of working. No need of work. There will be free prasadam for everyone. Free shelter. Free everything. It will be very nice. This is predicted. The golden age of Kali Yuga. So Srila Prabhupada, he is the acharya for this to happen. But unfortunately, this institution he has established, they have missed this point. They have missed this point. And that's why that whole institution became nonsense, corrupted. So many scandals, you just go on the Google, you will see so many scandals are going on. The children are being abused. And the Gurukul, Srila Prabhupada has made this wonderful educational system. So the children, from the very young age, they can be educated in the Vedic knowledge, not to be confused by the materialistic knowledge. But unfortunately, now these children, they're being abused by rascals in the dress of devotees. They simply dress like devotees, but they're actually demons. They're demons who, taking advantage of this wonderful movement, to engage in the most horrendous, sinful activities. You see? And people are cheated. They think, oh, this is Hare Krishna movement. Let me support this. Let me give a donation. Let me go to the festival. Right? People have no idea because they're not interested. And they don't care. They simply want to enjoy their senses. Oh, something going on, some nice festival, some nice big temple, big deity, let's go. It's going to be nice party. So the spiritual master, he tests his disciples. If you want to accept Srila Prabhupada as your spiritual master, then you have to be ready to be tested. It is not so easy that anyone and everyone can acquire the spiritual master. The spiritual master is here available for everyone. But Krishna, he hides him through the Yoga Maya potency. There's another Maya. There's the Maya, just like you mentioned, Maya. But there's also Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is a spiritual Maya. So he is covered by this Yoga Maya potency. And unless you're very serious, you won't be able to understand this. The bona fide spiritual master will not be revealed to you. You will be cheated. You will be cheated by some pseudo spiritual master. So it is up to us. We have to become very serious to get out of this material existence and try to develop our loving relationship with Krishna. Not be attracted by the externals. Another example I can cite just to finish off this class. Krishna, he exhibited the universal form. You have read the Bhagavad Gita? No? Okay. In due course, as the Bhagavad Gita has spoken, Krishna manifests his gigantic, you can say impersonal concept. The gigantic, great forms, and Arjuna sees everything within the creation in that form. So Prabhupada mentions that devotee is not attracted by the godless display of opulence. A real devotee is not attracted to such a form. Why? Because he cannot reciprocate with such a form. There's so many millions and millions of forms exhibited. I can show you the picture. Devotee cannot reciprocate with such a form. Devotee is attracted to Samasundara, just like you see above you. That is the form devotees are attracted to, because there's a reciprocation. You can hug Krishna, you can kiss Krishna, like that. So in the same way, real devotees, real disciples of the spiritual master, they are not attracted to the godless displays of opulence of the institution he established. These are some strong words. Someone might say, well, why are you saying it's a godless display, and so on and so on. It is not exactly godless, because provided you hear from the spiritual master, you hear the message, then an institution becomes conducive to your self-realization. But if that connection is lost, right? If the parampara is cut off, if the message is not passed down in the as it is form, then it is simply a godless display of opulence. See, the spiritual master, he wants to attract those who are not very serious through these festivals, through big elaborate deity worship. Prabhupada instructed this. Yes, this is meant for the less advanced, who will never hear this class from a rascal such as Purajit. They will never come to inquire. They will never hear. So for them, it is like that. But if it's not done under the injunction, under the instruction of the spiritual master, it turns into matter. It turns into matter. That is what we call the idol worship. Idol worship, right? This is also a bona fide concept. The Muslim and the Christians, they condemn idol worship. It's idol. This is actually a bona fide principle. Yes, idol worship, it comes when that form of worship becomes manufactured by a mental concoction. It is not guided by the acharyas, not guided by the scripture, like that. So I'll stop here. If there are any questions, you're very much welcome to ask. Yes.
So in the Advaita Vedanta movement and people like Ramana Maharshi and Ramakrishna, are they Mayavadis too?
What is their philosophy? Do you know their
They
philosophy?
say I am Brahman.
That is okay, we agree with that. Aham Brahmasmi.
Yeah.
But the Brahman, we have to go higher.
Okay.
Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shavyate. Srila Vyasadeva, the author of the Vedas, they accept the Vedas. Is that so?
Yeah.
They preaching on behalf of the from the Vedas. So the author of the Vedas, he says, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shavyate. That the absolute truth is realized in three aspects. The Brahman is simply preliminary understanding. Just like you have the example of the sun. There's the sunshine. So if you see the sunshine, yes, okay, you're touching the subject matter of the sun. But there's a higher knowledge. And that is, for example, the sun planets. The sun planet is the source of the sunshine. If you reach the sun planet, then the sunshine is automatically included. And if you go even further, there's the sun god, the presiding deity of the sun planet. And he is actually the person who conducts the whole planet and the sunshine. So in a similar way, Brahman is the all-pervading spirit of God. But there's a higher realization, Paramatma. The yogis are advised to meditate on the Paramatma. Paramatma is the localized aspect of Krishna. He resides in everyone living at his heart. And the topmost is the Bhagavan feature, Krishna. You see? So, unless they reach Krishna, Bhagavan feature, their knowledge is not perfect. Their knowledge is not perfect. What is the difference? The Mayavadis, they say that Bhagavan feature, Krishna, is actually inferior to the Brahman conception.
Okay.
This is the mistake. That's why they're offenders. They're offenders. If they say we're Brahman, that is true. We have no conflict there. But as soon as he says Krishna is also inferior to Brahman, then we have a big conflict.
Because they say that some of them would say that Krishna was just a man who got enlightened.
Avajananti mamuda, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Those who say I'm just a human being, they're fools and rascals. And fools and rascals. Lord Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. There are many controllers, many demigods. Krishna is the Parameshvara, the supreme controller. He makes the distinction. Krishna is supreme. And his body is made of Sat Chit Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge, full of blissfulness.
Yeah.
That's what Lord Brahma says. So how do they say he comes under the influence of the material energy? So many statements in the Vedas we have. Shankaracharya,
Yeah.
he's the head of the impersonal school of thought. He says, Narayana Paravyaktat. He says Narayan is beyond this material creation. In other words, he's not subjected to the material laws. He's not an ordinary man. Even he says like that.
Okay. And in the case of Ramakrishna, he said that Krishna appeared to him, and his devotees say that he was an incarnation of an avatar, of not the avatar, but an avatar. Is that true, or what's your opinion on that?
Rascal number one, kick on his face 1 million times.
Okay.
That is my opinion. It is not that anyone can become an avatar. If it's so easy that I simply say to you, by the way, yesterday, I saw Krishna. It becomes a very cheap thing.
Yeah.
So we're not so foolish. Any incarnation of Krishna which appears, it is already destined. It's already scheduled, and they're all predicted. They're all written down in the Vedas. Just like Krishna. Krishna is mentioned in the Vedas. Lord Buddha is mentioned in the Vedas. Even Srila Prabhupada, believe it or not, even Srila Prabhupada is mentioned. There's a hint given in the Vedas.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many statements that he's going to appear. Where is this so-called Ramakrishna? Where is he mentioned in the Vedas?
Okay.
Nonsense.
So he just achieved the Brahman state, and then everyone was attracted to his level of consciousness, but he wasn't a devotee.
Not even a Brahmin state.
Not even.
Not even that.
It was just fooling people.
Just fooling people. Right? The greatest rascal.
So
Yeah.
even Vivekananda as well.
They're a bunch of rascals. Why should we listen to some Vivekananda? They're preaching directly against what Krishna says. See, Krishna says, avajananti mamuda. Avajanti mamuda. Those who think I'm an ornament, they're fools and rascals. You know?